Hello, I'm Star Khechara, otherwise known as the Facelift Food Coach, and I just wanted to make a really short video about why I'm no longer eating the same kind of raw diet that I was before. So basically, I've been in and out of raw for a long time, probably about 18 years. I've been vegetarian for the same amount of time, and in and out of sort of raw veganism, as and when my lifestyle suited it. And originally it was very high in the fruit and vegetables. I was eating lots of salad and fruit and sprouting things and doing all that. And then as the kind of raw foods movement grew in sophistication and we had all these raw chefs coming out on the scene and recipe books and amazing ingredients that we never thought would be available, so my way of eating grew in sophistication too. So having always been someone from a young age who was quite addicted, I suppose, in a way, to sort of chocolates and cakes and things, I was really excited that I could eat those kind of foods, but it was still raw and healthy. So I started, I really got into it. I spent hundreds of pounds buying all these superfoods, bags and bags, kilos of cacao powder, loads of different superfoods and things to flavour it with. I'm still wondering what to do with a cupboard full of it now. I've got dried fruit extracts and mesquite and agave nectar and Irish moss stuff and all these exotic things that we could all make wonderful puddings with. So I started eating a lot of this gourmet and I loved it because I could make like massive cakes like this and eat that from my tea, and all the while thinking, wow, well, this is cool because, you know, it's healthy, it's raw, right? It's vegan. It must be good for me. But, you know, I enjoyed eating it. But just like with eating normal cakes and puddings and pies, I did feel bad afterwards. I don't mean guilt. I didn't feel bad, like, oh my god, I've eaten cake. I felt like my stomach felt bad. I didn't feel healthy. I'd feel like I had a rock in my stomach afterwards. I was like, ugh, it can't be good eating all these nuts. I would, you know, once they're ground up and you've made them into a fake cheesecake or whatever, it doesn't feel like you're eating nuts as much. But if you literally sat there with, like, you know, a kilo of cashew nuts and tried to eat them, you wouldn't be able to, because you would probably get sick, you know, or be like, oh, I can't eat another nut. So when we grind everything up and make these gourmet things with like 20 million different ingredients in, and then we flavour it all up with cacao and vanilla, you're kind of masking almost that natural response to eating those kind of heavy foods, which would have been to, you know, really not eat that much. So it's very easy to overeat on lots of high fat food, and I was actually putting on weight while being raw vegan. I went up 2 dress sizes from a 10 to a 14 while being very high raw, not 100% but extremely high raw, and the foods that I was eating that weren't raw weren't high fatty foods. There were things like a baked potato I was putting in my salad, that sort of thing. I was always craving carbohydrates quite a lot. I now know that's because I was under-eating on carbs and over-eating on fat, so my body was crying out for carbohydrates. And all the while I was eating these raw chocolates and raw cakes, I was still craving chocolate and cake. So I would binge out on, you know, Reese's peanut butter cups and Snickers bars and things like that, and crisps. And I never even liked crisps that much, but I started binging out on things like that because obviously my body was going crazy for, you know, the imbalance of my diet was sending my body crazy, and I was having these cravings. And thank goodness I found my way back to real raw eating, which is only foods plucked from nature instead of being delivered through the letterbox in a packet, all dried up. And so I got back into that, and I found the forum 30 bananas a day, and they recommend reading Doug Graham's work 80-10-10. And, you know, I'd even heard of Doug Graham like a decade ago, and I'd even studied natural hygiene, which promotes the high fruit diet, and still, I don't know, but I obviously overrode that logic in my head somewhere to be able to I thought I'd kill my cravings basically by eating the raw versions of my cooked diet, and it didn't work. I just craved more, I just got fat, I just got unhealthy. So now I've got rid of all that stuff, all the gourmet stuff's gone, the cacao's gone. I'm eating high fruit diet, really high fruit, as in about sort of 90% of my calories are probably from fruit. There's kilos of fruit a day. I'll have to change my business name from Facelift Food Coach to probably the Facelift Fruit Coach or something to go with my new way of eating. And I have to just say, what a revelation, because I haven't felt this good in a long time, and that's coming from a very healthy eating background. I'm a trained nutritionist. You know, I don't sit at home eating junk food. And I've been doing raw, in and out of raw for a long time. So I just want to reiterate that there's still a wrong way of doing raw, and there are such things as raw junk foods, and I was on a raw junk food diet. I was eating processed, stuff with loads of salt, loads of fat added, lots of flavorings added to it to make it tasty, just like we do in the cooked world. We all say, we can only eat meat as humans because we have to cook it loads and process it and then add loads of flavorings. Well, that's what we do in the raw world when we eat like tons and tons of nuts and things, because it's not natural to sit there and be able to eat a kilo of nuts. But you make a cheesecake with a nut base, a nut middle, and a nut topping, and suddenly, that's healthy. Well, of course it isn't. And I really think it's important, because I've seen some people now getting unhealthy on the raw diet, and it's like, oh, the raw diet's no good, veganism's no good, even vegetarianism's no good. But you know what? Let's look at what we're eating here. If you're eating a diet that's processed, full of powders and packages, and you're having to take tons of supplements, that's an indication that your diet isn't healthy or natural. Go back to nature. Get on the fruit. Your body runs on carbohydrates, and the best one of those is fruit. So now I'm on fruit. I can't believe the difference. My cravings for cake and chocolate went straight away, like the first week. Within 2 weeks, my fingernails had suddenly, I don't know if you can see them, they've suddenly grown really, really long. I've never been able to grow long fingernails in my life, so I'm really chuffed, because I've always been jealous of other people's long girly nails. And my energy's through the roof. I actually get up and in the morning and I want to move my body. I want to do something. I'm jogging around the park, and I'm there in my trainers and my jogging trousers and running around the park thinking, wow, I'm like one of those running people. I never in my whole life thought I would be one of those kinds of people. I thought there was other people that did that. I'm doing yoga. I've dropped a dress size, and yet I haven't cut my food down. In fact, I'm eating more probably than I've ever had in my life. I'm on 2,500 calories a day. I'm going to try and get up to 3,000, but at the moment I literally can't eat anymore. I'm eating and eating till I feel full. I'm having huge meals. I'm drinking plenty of water, which is really helping as well. My IBS is gone. My energy levels are amazing. My body and face has started to restructure from inside. It's not that noticeable at the moment, but a lot of puffiness is gone, and I'm starting to feel different. The other day I caught myself in the full-length mirror in my bedroom, and I was in my underwear, and I did a double take at myself because I haven't technically lost weight, but my body has changed. It started to, I can see the real body kind of emerging out through, if you see what I mean. So I'm really, really excited that I've been on the 80-10-10 diet, which is 80% carbohydrate from fruit, 10% fat, which also comes from fruit and vegetables, and 10% protein, which I get from both fruit and green vegetables. So, and I'm on the forum 30 bananas a day, which I really recommend if you're wanting to stay raw vegan and it's not working for you the way you're doing it. Seriously, get rid of all the brown and white foods, which are like your nuts, your powders, and potions, and come over to the colourful fruity side. because you'll see such a difference in a short space of time. And it's a lifestyle. It's not a diet. Don't do this to like try and lose weight or anything weird. Just get into it and eat loads of fruit and have an amazing, colourful, energetic life. Life tastes good when you eat fruit, literally. So yeah, that's why I'm now. I've gone to the fruity side. It's working for me already, and the science backs it up too. I mean, I haven't read a science I read a lot of science papers because I'm a nutritionist. I haven't seen one yet that says humans need to live on loads of nuts and dehydrated powders thrown all around the world. So if anyone has a study, show it to me. But until then, I'm eating nature's food as it comes in its own packaging. No messing around by the human hand, and it's working. I feel fab, so give it a go. See you later.